Okay, I am gonna go ahead and click go live. Okay. All right, so I am live. I'm gonna turn this off, and at least I know that people can hear me. So, welcome to the third Paint With Me live stream. Today, joining us, of course, as always, is my mom. And then also we have my friend Casey and her two little girls. Noelle's over here. You can't really see her, but this is Sophia. So we are going to have a lot of fun today. We're going to be painting this beautiful winter scene tree. And we're going to go ahead and get started here in just a second. I did post the materials list on Facebook, but just in case you didn't see that, we're going to be using a lot of different blue color paints. We are going to be using a lot of white, some black. So white, black, and blues is really what you need. Of course, we've got our canvas, paint brushes. This paper is our palette. And of course, we have our paper towels, cups for water. I should probably put water in mine. My sister is calling me, which is awesome when you're live. Hello, sister. You're live.
That's great. I'm so glad I'm live, but I can't see your video.
You can't see the video.
I still see the main picture.
Okay.
I hear your voice though.
You hear my voice, but can't see the video. Okay, is anybody else having trouble seeing the video? Because I think... Let's see. I can see the video on mine, on my phone, so I'm not sure why yours is having trouble.
Okay, so are other people, nobody else is having an issue?
Nobody is saying anything in the chat. Turn off your volume.
They're getting feedback. Okay. All right, we will try to troubleshoot on our end then. Thank you.
All right, cool. All right, bye. All right, so now that that's done, I got to get water for my cup, and let's see. And Terry can see and hear us. Awesome. All right, so I'm going to get water for my cup, and then we will go ahead and get started. So, all right. Ugh. So this is a fun, easy painting. I did it in not too long when I did this painting. Now, to be fair, this is not my original design. I did get inspiration from a picture I saw on Google, but it is definitely different than the one that I saw on Google. So we are going to start with white. So I'm going to give everybody some white paint on their palette. And we're going to be using a lot of white in this painting, so I'm going to give you guys a lot of white. Switch in a little bit, Mama. Thank you. All right. And then, did you give Noelle her white?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Guess what? You know what Mommy says? Hey, Mommy.
What does Mommy say?
Hey, Mommy. Do I have my mom?
Your little mom, yeah.
All right, so now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a big brush. Mine is a flat brush. You can use a round brush, but I'm going to take a big brush. And the first thing we're going to do is roughly in the center of your canvas, you are going to start making a circle. Just a circle.
Make a circle.
It doesn't have to be perfect. Just a circly circle. And just get a good layer of white circle going on. You're not going to be able to see it much if you're using a white canvas, but just a circle. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start adding in blues.
And she's making kind of a big hood.
Yep, kind of a big circle. We're going to start adding blues. Mom, I'm going to pass you, as I do my blues, I'm going to pass you blues. And you can put some on your palette. And then we pass it over to Casey to help the girls after you've got some. I'll leave them kind of loose for you.
There you go.
Now I am using many different shades of blues because I like color and I like multiple colors. So I'm using lots of different shades. You can use just one shade if you've got a nice primary blue, but I like different shades. So going with all kinds of them. I've got primary blue, ultramarine blue, light blue permanent, and this lighter blue. I've got phthalo blue, all that. So lots of blue. So once you have your blue there, you're going to start with a lighter blue or just a little bit of blue if you're using all one blue. I'm going to use the lighter blue, and you're going to start from kind of the outside of where you made that white circle. You don't even have to clean off your brush from the white. You can just go ahead and start.
So here's the really light one.
Making a more bigger circle.
A more bigger circle?
A more bigger circle. And then you can go to the next darker color.
Are you doing?
You do an even bigger.
Are you covering into white as well?
Yeah, you're blending a little bit. And then the next darker color and an even bigger circle. Don't worry, we're going to continue on and we're going to be adding a lot of circles of paint. So you can. It's a very rough circular shape. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's art. It never has to be perfect. And I'm adding my darkest blue over in the corners. What I like to do too, to make sure I get the edges, is I'll flip my canvas so that I can, because I don't like trying to get down on the bottom. And if anybody has any questions during this stream, feel free to put them in the chat. I'm going to be glancing at my phone every now and then to try and answer questions. All right. Then once you've got kind of a circular shapes going, whoops, drop your stuff too, going outwards on the canvas. See what I did here, guys? Once you've got your canvas pretty well covered with circular shapes, then you're going to go back in with the white and blues however you like and just kind of mix it in there. Keep the shapes going circular, and again, they don't have to be perfect. And the colors will kind of make fun streaks. And then, yes, I'm going to add a little bit more white. Oh, so I know my sister's watching, Kimberly. I did forget to send the link to Scott. My buddy Scott. So if she would do that. All right. So then what I've just got streaky circles. So as you can see, guys, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just circular-ish. See? Let me see yours. Look at you. You've got all kinds of circles going on. I love it. All right. Once you've got a lot of circular shapes going on, you can clean off your brush if you like. I'm going to go ahead and clean off my brush a little bit. And wash it off in the water here. I also tend to get very messy, so I always keep a rag on my knee because I tend to wipe my brushes on my pants all the time. So I cleaned off my brush a bit, and then I'm going back in with more white starting from the center to blend out that middle section. So I just added more white to my brush. And I'm blending outwards. Just start at the center.
So my center is going away.
So rinse off your brush first and then add more white. And then your center will lighten up more. And then go outwards from there. Now, if you want to get, if you want to add just a little extra color flavor, you can add a little bit of purple or a little bit of magenta, because the magenta mixed with the blue will make a little purpley color. I'm going to add just a little teeny tiny bit to make some purple.
Oh, jeez.
I'm having issues today. Luckily, because this painting is only a few colors, and I only have a few colors on my palette,
Jeez.
I'm just going to have a really thick painting. Because I'm just going to go ahead and take my brush and make all of this blend. Accidents happen in art as in life. Take a bunch of that. Now, if I had had a bunch of reds and yellows and stuff on my palette, that might have been an issue, because then it would have created really muddy, gross colors. However, because it's all the same color families, I should be okay. I'm just gonna have a whole lot of paint on this canvas. Go ahead and rinse off again. And then I'm gonna grab more white, because I need to blend now. Before I grab more white, I'm gonna take this off. It's supposed to look like not circles, but just roundish shapes. So I'm also going to dab off my brush sometimes.
Want that magenta or whatever.
You want some magenta?
Or purple or whatever.
You can add a little magenta in there.
Want some of this color?
Just a itty bitty bit. You don't want it too pink.
You want some of this?
Oh, okay. All right. So my center is the lightest part, and then it goes up from there. Dab off my brush, rinse it off again. My water is very, very blue. And the easel falling over, Ma, that's exactly why I gave you the good easel. So you're welcome. That's the easel. Mom is using the easel I normally use when I paint. This easel is kind of a backup.
Wait, so next we just fill on the white part?
Yeah, so go back over the white a little bit just to smooth your edges a little bit, and it'll look beauteous. And add a little more darkness to the edges because I added so much white. But
I actually got a little blue in mine.
Yeah, me too, but.
oh yeah, mine is not perfectly white anymore either. Let me show you. Mine is a little bit blue. So, and you can even see on the example that the center is not totally white. It does have a blue tone to it. So I'm just using big, broad strokes, and it's pretty. I add just a little bit more magenta back in because this all went away. Okay. Now, and the idea of this is that your center is going to be the lightest part and your outsides are going to be the darkest. So as long as you've got the middle being light and the outside being dark, you're doing it right. And again, if you wanted to, you could flip it over to get your edges on the bottom also. Awesome. Yeah, there's a kitty at our feet. Got some nips. The kitties will likely come say hi to us a couple of times. All right. So, let's see. We have 9 people viewing. Not many people, not very active in the chat, but if you have questions, please let me know. What?
They're busy painting.
Yeah, they're busy painting, which it was excellent. All right, so I am going to see everybody hard at work. So I'm going to kind of see how everybody's doing here. Oh, yes, Mom, that is actually perfect. Mom always thinks that hers aren't good, but that is awesome. Oh, yours looks so good, Sophia. That's so cool. Let me see. I want to see Casey's. Casey, flip yours around. Let's see. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Ooh.
Oh, wow, that's nice.
Noelle, yours looks
Try it.
brilliant.
So pretty.
Very nice. All right, so this painting is going to be very much wet on wet. So we're going to continue on. What do you think, everybody? Are you guys satisfied with your circular shape, your background?
Yes.
Good. All right, so I'm going to start adding black. Actually, no, we're not going to do black yet. Black is coming later. The next, and if you want, darling, you can use some of my black. So, if it's okay with mine, because mine is not as washable. It will wash, but.
Oh wait, is the center like the moon?
Yes. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. So we're going to start with this dark purple color. And we're going to start our tree shape. Okay? And we're not going to use black yet. We're going to use the dark purple color so that we have nice layers of color. Oh, good, Terry. I hope you guys do try painting this, and I want to see your result once you do. That is not the brush I want to use. All right, so for your tree shape, you're going to want kind of a medium-sized brush. Not too terribly small. I'm going to use this one. But you're going to want like a medium-ish size brush. So, for the tree, the way I did it, I started at the bottom, and I just kind of made the trunk just kind of moving upwards and towards the center. Almost like a triangle shape. Because we will flush that out eventually. So, this is how I started it, kids.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
Okay. Just gonna go towards the center. Don't go too far into your light middle, but go just to the bottom of it. You can do it. No, you're fine. That's perfect, Mom.
Like this?
Very nice. Yeah, make sure it comes to a little bit of a point when it gets close to your light colored middle. And then I'm just filling in, and I love the brush strokes, so I tend not to worry too much about those brush strokes that are coming through. There we go. So, now that I have that triangle shape, I'm going to start with the branches. So I'm going to start Look at that. That looks so pretty, Casey. I'm gonna start by loading up my brush with the purple still, and I'm gonna make one branch going this way, and then one branch going that way. And then I'm just gonna kind of flush it out. And it's a tree, so these lines don't have to be straight. In fact, it's better if they're not perfect, because where have you ever seen a tree with straight branches? They're always knotted and curved and doing all kinds of stuff. So we're gonna do the thickest branches first, which are the two there. Then after that, I'm gonna rinse off my brush. I'm still gonna use this medium-sized brush, but I'm rinsing it off so that there's not as much paint on it. And I'm gonna pick up a little more paint, and I'm gonna start adding some of the next size branch coming off. I'm just gonna start there, and I'm just gonna make lines coming off. See, Mom? So you're gonna make some more smaller lines. So did you see how I did the branches? I just went whoop, whoop, and then now I'm making the smaller lines for the next size branch. See what I did there? Okay. All right. And I'm gonna add a few more coming out there. Add it go that way. All right. And then to blend the branches back in to the rest of the tree, I just go over the tree with my paintbrush because those lines are still there. And the paint is still wet, so it will blend it together. All right. How are we doing? Is everybody keeping up? Do I need to pause for a minute? I'll give it a little pause. Some people at home might need a little pause also, so we'll just wait. Again, if there's any questions in the what? Explain how to open the chat. I don't know how. I mean, when I click it, it's just there. So,
it's washable. Yeah, this one's washable. Do you have a paper towel? Give me a paper towel.
oh, did Neelix get some paint on him?
Yeah, some blue paint. It's the washable one.
Oh, that's funny. And probably non-toxic because it's for kids, so it's fine.
It's fine.
Does Noelle need more paper towel? I can get more.
Yeah, probably.
Just jump over.
I know, I stuck with the blue paint. I try to get as positive as possible.
All right.
Here it is. Here it is.
Extra paper towels.
Who wants the paint?
All right. Oh, there we go. Maybe Terry would know how to tell people how to access the chat, because I use my phone when I'm looking at the chat, so it's not on a TV or anything. So when I have it on my phone this way, I can see the chat here. So it just automatically pops up. So I don't know how to explain it other than that. I know you have to be logged into YouTube to do it, and I know you can use a Google account to log into YouTube. So that's all I know. All right. Oh, Mom, yours is looking pretty. Sophia, yours is looking beautiful. So for the smaller branches, Sophia, if you want, you've got a water cup there. If you want to rinse off your brush, give it a really good swish around, and then dab it on your paper towel to get the excess paint off. and then go back into the purple, then you'll be able to make smaller purple brush strokes, because the thick paint on your brush is what was making your brush strokes a little thicker.
I think this is enough, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Because then we're gonna go in with an even smaller brush. I've got one for you, hang on. And add just a little more of the purple on there, and then make the smallest branches. Or Mom, you don't even need to add any more. If your paint is thick enough, if you just use the paintbrush and kind of pull some away, it'll add smaller branches. Now, on this tree, I kind of made it so that the branches connect around. So I'm going to make sure that I have at least a few smaller branches that are going towards the middle. And again, being a tree, they don't have to be perfect lines. They don't have to be straight. Just lightly brushing on the color. And there, and there. There we go. That's pretty. I'm adding one branch on my canvas. It's on the right of the tree that kind of comes out a little more horizontally, because that will hold our swing at the end. All right. All right, how we doing? Realistic trees. I don't know how realistic this one. Tips on making realistic trees. I know that you want more brush strokes because that is going to look more like bark rather than having it super flat. With this one, it's more of a silhouette, so whether or not you have brush strokes, it should look fairly flat anyway. But for realistic trees, lots of different shades and hues is really what you're going to want, just because if you look at a tree, it's got a lot of texture and it's got a lot of different shades in it. I also feel it's looking nice. Oh, Mom, yours looks beautiful. Cool. So the next thing we're gonna do, if everybody's ready to move on, I'm going to flip my canvas upside down.
Well, show Casey so because you're talking, but she's not seeing it. So.
Casey, yours is looking amazing.
It is, but I want to make sure she.
So I'm going to flip my canvas upside down. Why? Because we're going to be working on the bottom part here. This little mountainous scene. We're giving our tree something to stand on. So we're going to be working with the bottom of the canvas now. So now is when we want to start with some black. There it is. Give myself some. Yes. Right. For this one, you're going to want a medium-ish size brush. So I'm going to go ahead and use a flat brush that is fairly small because I don't know where my mediums are.
I don't know what you're talking about, medium. Like this is too big.
That one might be good for you.
What about
In
this
fact,
one?
I'll use the same size, Mom.
Yep, that's good. Yep, that's good.
All right. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take some of my black paint, and I'm gonna start just putting basically a black line across the bottom. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Well, I guess now it's the top, but it doesn't have to be perfect because this is supposed to be kind of we're gonna do kind of a mountainous scene. But I'm just gonna start with just putting some black down there. All right. Once you have your ground, I'm gonna make a few Rocky Mountain-y things going on. And that is just kind of making an abstract shape over on the sides in the corners. This easel is not my favorite easel. And I'll make another abstract shape there on the other side. You can make them as tall or as short as you like. Just a little bit of extra dimension there on the sides. And you can make it as dark black as you want or keep some of the brush strokes in there. So either it can be a full silhouette or have a little bit of highlights on it. Once you have your ground done, then you can flip your canvas back over. Yeah, Terry, I thought about using the black 3.0. However, that might be a little too dark for this particular image. Yes, that's very nice. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Now we are going to take some of the black now and bring it into the tree. You don't have to, but it will give the tree, it will make the tree kind of blend in more with the ground. So you don't have to use a lot. You can keep the tree as purple as you want, but adding it to especially the front, because your light source is behind the tree. So the very front is going to be the darkest. But adding it where you think shadows should be, and then just kind of blending it with the tree. So the purple is still coming through, but the tree is darkening up. You also can even throw in a little bit of your darkest blue, add even more color dimension. And again, you don't have to go over every purple spot, but you can add some black branches in there. You can add some dark blue branches in there. This painting has a lot of layers and a lot of different colors. It's one of the reasons I chose it to teach today. And again, I'm making it darker towards the bottom, and I'm leaving the top branches a little bit more purpley. I am going to add just a little more black in there, and then I'm going to take my small brush again and go and make a few more neck branches. Give it a little more dimension and shape. How you doing over there, Sophia? Do you have any questions? You doing all right?
Oh, she's doing great.
Oh my gosh, look at your blending. You're a little
Nice.
artist over there, aren't you?
Nice work. Yep.
Oh, yours is so pretty, Noelle. I love it. Somebody's phone's going off. Awesome. Mine's shaping up to be a little different than my example, but I'm okay with it. It is looking pretty. Alright, I'm gonna see how everybody's doing. Oh wow, that was great. That is pretty. Yeah, Sophia, yours is looking so good.
Nice.
That is so cool.
Nice. Very
Noelle's is looking
Thank you.
pretty.
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and you're hilarious. You have blue right here.
That's from the cat. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Wait, what?
The cat painted me blue. Stepped in the
So for right now, I'm going to let people catch up. I'm going to take a sip of my beverage of choice for today.
Yeah, you can use that too. You want in the middle?
Always remember, don't dip your paintbrushes in your beverage and don't drink your paint water. Very important. Now the next part of this painting is going to be super fun. And you will have choices. Choices, because the next part can be done with a brush, but it could also be done with your fingers.
Fingers.
Yeah. So, because what we're going to be doing is adding all the snowy, leafy areas. And so these could be done with a brush.
I would have one of your pointy brushes right there.
Yeah. And I do. I recommend a round brush like this, or it's called a filbert brush, and it's got kind of a rounded tip, but it's flatter. So this is a filbert brush. I love filbert brushes. I actually just went and bought 2 new ones in different sizes because I love them so much. So I did this one with a filbert brush. But again, you can use a brush for your fingers, and I recommend a round or a filbert brush for this next section.
Not quite sure how.
You got paint everywhere?
Well, on this hand, but not.
Mom's getting paint on her not dominant hand, but not on her dominant hand, which is probably good because she's got her glove on. All right, so good. Chad's doing all right. So, are we ready to move on to our snowy finger paintery areas? All right. So, if you need more white, feel free to add more white. If you think you're good, you're okay. And the white can also, but we're not going to use it yet. The white can have other colors mixed in. It will be okay. So, first thing I'm going to do is give my other filbert brush a good rinse. All right. So, first, you're going to want to add whatever color you're going to use for those areas that is going to be your darkest. I used Brilliant Purple to start and then went over it with a light blue and then the white on top. So I'm going to start with the Brilliant Purple. Does anybody else want purple?
Sure, I'll take some.
So if you notice in here, Ma, see that a little pieces of purple are popping through? I didn't add much of it, but
Okay.
that's the color that I started with.
You want some of this?
I think mine is already perfect
Oh,
because I got a little blue.
Perfect. Perfect. If you do want to start with like a lighter blue, and here I'll show you too, Sophia. So you see how like the white is on top, but you see all those colors that are kind of underneath it, underneath the white? That's because I started by adding the darker color, but not too much of it. And of course I added the most white on top. So if you want to start with like the lightest blue, and if you need more, we can get you more. I think your mom's got it over there.
You want some of this?
Or the light blue.
Light blue.
Alright, so
You want to do?
I am loading up my filbert brush with a whole lot of purple paint. Now, again, I'm not going to use a whole lot of purple, but I'm just dabbing. So I'm just going to dab so that it creates a lot of texture. And I'm just dabbing. Do you want to see me dab over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? So here's what I'm doing. I'm just taking the purple and dabbing it.
That's okay.
Now, you can do the same thing with your fingers
Can I
if you
use
want.
blue with it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Where's that large?
Casey, we pass them on the brilliant purple. Thanks. And I just want a few dabs of the purple in there. I'm not adding a whole lot of it. Cool.
So this brush I should use?
Yeah, you can. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to use the light blue, the lightest of my blues. I'm going to add a few more dabs. And some of them are going to go on top of the purple, and some of them will be in their own space. And they're just going to kind of mingle. You're mingling like at a party. I'm adding a little bit more blue than I did purple because it is the next lightest color. I think Noelle is going to do the finger painting also. Alright. So I just added a few of the purple and blue. I'm going to use different sizes of filbert. You can, this one I did all with the same filbert, but I'm going to use different sizes because I have them now. I'm now going to go in with the white. I'm going to load up this brush with white. And again, dab. Start the dabbing. Now I'm going to add a lot of snow to the center of my V of my branches because snow would collect there. Yes, hello Cass. That's one of my kitties meowing in the background. And then I also want to make sure I have a lot of snow up towards the top of the tree.
I feel like I heard 2 cats.
You may have. I do have 5 cats, so. And it's okay if the colors kind of mingle and mix a little bit. It adds even more texture.
So after I'm done with my light blue, can I add a little bit of white on top?
Yes, please. Yeah, because the white is going to be snow. So you can use the same finger or a different finger. Or you can even wipe off your finger. If you want an actual towel to wipe off your finger, it might be easier too, whenever you're ready.
Okay.
May I use that towel?
Yes. I, of course, because I paint on my own a bunch, I have just towels that have become my art towels. Usually just old washcloths, things like that I don't use as washcloths ever, so they become painting towels. And again, you can add your dogs.
You like the sound that you said you can add your dogs.
My dogs, yes, you can add your dogs or daubs wherever you like on your painting. I recommend putting them in areas where snow might gather. What do you need? Do you need something, Noah?
Oh, she wants mommy to wash her hands.
Oh.
I'll be right back.
You know my hands?
She really blended.
I see.
Nice.
That's when you know you've done art, when you've got it all over you. A little bit Sophia over here.
I like what you're doing there. You're doing a great job.
Oh, you are?
Where's the towel?
Now, on the example painting, I added a little snow falling from the tree. That is optional. You can do that if you feel so inclined. I think on today's, I'm going to do a little different and not do the snow falling.
Wait, so just dab the white on top of the blue?
On top of the blue, in between the blue. So if you look, it'll kind of mix and mingle. So you want it to kind of fill in some of the spaces between the blue, but it's okay if it goes on top of the blue. And then feel free to add whatever colors and layers, everything that you want to add. Use white.
Use a paintbrush.
I am incredibly excited to see anybody who is painting along with us to see what you guys come up with. So please, the link for my Facebook page should be in the description. So please do send me via that, via Facebook Messenger. Send me any of your final work, and if it's okay with you, I will post it in an album that I have for the work that is created with these live streams. I'm going to use my biggest filbert brush now. I'm just going to see what it does. Oh, nice. I'm going to try to do it this way though. My lightest areas to be on top. Do you feel like yours is done, Miss Noelle? Do you feel like yours is all finished? Yeah? Can I see it?
Hers fills up the entire
I love it. I love the colors. And yeah, if you feel like you are finished, then your art is finished. All right. Let me do it. Oh, Mom, yours looks beautiful.
Too much?
No, I like it. All right.
Is that enough?
Yeah. If you feel like it's not enough, the only thing I would suggest is maybe like bring a little bit out a little asymmetrically, like out this way or out that way or something. Sometimes just like adding a couple of dabs is all you need. I have a problem sometimes I go too far because I never know when I'm done.
Well, then I covered up some of my cool branches though.
Oh. So, my next step is I'm gonna add a little snow to the ground. My black is still very wet, so it might end up more gray, but I'm gonna, again, kind of more with a dabbing motion so that it doesn't end up so gray. I'm gonna add snow into my black areas where it might fall on, say, a mountain. Like up the top. Snow
So we can add it to the ground.
Yeah. So just on the top of the ground though. So like where snow might fall. You don't have to. You can leave it if you don't want to add the snow.
No, that's not what I'm saying. You say just on the top instead of in it.
Oh no, in the mountain you totally can, because mountains are craggy and stuff, and snow falls differently on mountains. Add some over here.
I totally lost that center circle.
Well, the good thing about the circles is that that's your base, that's your background, and so it'd be gone. Well, but it gives it, rather than trying to do a background afterward, doing the background first and then the painting, and then it's all one seamless circle rather than trying to connect them, and I can't do that stuff.
I mean, the way you did it made sense. It's just that yours, you can see yours, and mine is like.
Because you've got more of a tree going on, and your tree is pretty-ish. So I'm adding a little bit of snow down by the tree trunk area, and then some down there.
I wonder if Kimberly ever got.
Yeah, I wonder if Kimberly ever ended up with the video. Sometimes I have to stop myself before I wreck it. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. So this painting, my painting, is going to take 1,000,000 years to dry. No, it's acrylic, so it actually won't take too terribly long, but my paint is very thick. How's yours looking, Casey?
Yeah. I got a little carried away on the bottom a little bit.
Oh, that's cool.
No, I like it.
I love that. No, your snow looks awesome.
It does.
That's very cool.
Right.
Oh, and Sophia's is looking so good. I love it. Now, on the example painting, I did end up adding a swing. So you can do that one of two ways. You can use a super teeny tiny brush, which I should have given each of you. Mom, you've got one still on your paper towel over there too. Okay. But there should be a super teeny tiny brush. If not, ladies, there's some in here. I love to use this liner brush I have, but I'm going to use it with black. So again, you can do this one of two ways. You can just freehand it and just make a line straight down from your bottommost branch. And try and make that straightish line.
You're supposed to check your messages.
Check my messages? Oh, that's nice, Kimberly. Oh, can I slow down? Well, I don't know when she said that, but we're almost done, so. In any case, all right, so that's one way to do the line of the swing. The other way is if you have a palette knife or a ruler, any kind of straight edge, you can use that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna dip my palette knife in my black paint. And then you can just stamp it right on the canvas like that. And it makes a nice line. Now she does it. My mom mutters under her breath. but not everyone has a palette knife, which is why I didn't say that one first.
Can I borrow that?
Yes.
Wait, so to make this one, we just go line one and then like a little.
And then, yep, and then a line across, yep. And I'm going to use my paintbrush to make my swing across, my seat of my swing. There we go. And if you wanted to, I didn't hear, but if you wanted to, you could add snow to the swing. You could do whatever you want with that. I think I might on this one.
Can I use this one?
Here, just a little snow.
To make a straight line.
Just one little teeny tiny line of the snow. Cool.
On the edge. But you already got your lines. So you're good.
Yeah, Terry, definitely share with me what you guys end up doing, because I know that your little ones love to paint, and it's great for hand-eye coordination. It's like having art class at home. It's wonderful, so I would love to see it. So yeah, so I mean, I feel like mine is okay. Mine is done. I like my example painting a little better, but you know, no painting is ever going to be the exact same thing twice, because, well, some people can do it, I can't. But that is also the beauty of art, and I feel like this painting was a little easier and less complex than the last two that we did.
Yep.
Mom agrees. This is your third live paint with me, Mom. I think that means that you're an official part of the live paint with me live stream.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. Let's see how we doing over here. Oh, that looks fun. I love it. I love it. Casey, let me see yours. See the final. That's beautiful.
It is.
It really is beautiful. Your blues, the way you mix the blues and everything, and then with the purple and everything, it looks gorgeous. Here, I'm going to show that on the here. So this one is the one Casey did. I love it. It's her own take, and it's beautiful. It's way smoother than mine, but again, that's totally fine. It's beautiful. There you go. Now, the most important part of any painting is signing it. So, you can take your little brush, little itty bitty brush. Do you have a little itty bitty brush over there?
Yeah.
Does she?
Oh, do you have a little one? Yeah.
No, it might be a little big. Whatever is easiest for you to write your name. But you can write your name on your painting somewhere. Usually, you know, a lot of artists do the lower corner.
Like this.
But I sometimes like to try and make it blend in with the rest of the painting, so I'm going to put mine right here.
Should I put mine in the snow on the bottom?
Yeah. You can put your signature wherever you want. Just make sure that you sign it because it's your work. All right. So again, if anybody has any questions, now that I'm not busy painting at the same time as trying to explain it all, if anybody has any questions, if you have my personal phone number or Facebook or something, you can go ahead and send me a message that way, and I can answer questions. My aunt said to look at Messenger, but nothing was there. Why? See anything? Kimberly, my sister, sent pictures of what they're doing. Ooh, my niece, my sister, and my brother-in-law all participated today, which is very cool. Oh. Oh yes, Terry, it is very okay to be different. Everybody's painting is going to end up totally different than anybody else's. You know, I just saw pictures from my sister and her family, and theirs look totally different than ours. Obviously, Casey's is totally different. Yours is totally different, and also, you know, so. And that, and a lot of times I do like to choose paintings for these that you can go astray, go a little rogue, as my friend Andrea would put it, because that is, again, that's what art is. And you gotta get a little messy too. Although I had a couple of mishaps, so. All right. So, unless there's any other questions from you guys at home or from any of my friends that are here with me, I think that'll do it for this live stream. It was a short one. It was pretty easy. You guys have fun?
Mm-hmm.
Did you have fun, Sophia?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mom, did you have fun? Yeah. Good. I hope everybody at home had fun. Send me the pictures of whatever you painted, whether you're watching this live or after the fact. Anytime, please send me pictures. I would love to see your work. Other than that, please do subscribe to my channel so you can know when these live streams are happening all the time. And I post other little videos of me painting, do time-lapse ones. Sometimes I talk. But yeah, subscribe, like this video, and maybe I will see you guys again next month. I do want to make this a monthly thing. I'm hoping first Sunday of every month. So if you want to get in on that, subscribe, ring that bell. Anyway, have a wonderful January. Thank you guys. All right, now I gotta figure out how to turn this off. Oh, there it is.
Show me Kimberly's pictures. I always like to see Chase's.
All right.